schedule starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
3rd and 2, Darnold. Yeah, he'll find Hall. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Check, crunch.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Darnold from the gun. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one good for 37 yards. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
Now it's Darnold. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And the QB rating right now is sky high, 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Ready, break. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Come on, D!
And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
54 Mike, 54 Mike.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. And we're pretty close. Go!
From the gun, Cruz. And Diggs has it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Here we go.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Operating from the gun, Cruz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target. Third down here.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Cruz to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a give, right side. It's Paul, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Check through, fellas, let's go. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
2nd and 9 now. inside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
56. Mike's 56. Hey, check. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Fox try. Rap. 56. Mike, 56 right there.
Cruz operating from the gun. Steps away. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold dumping it off for Johnson. It's a gain of 5. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Darnold on 3rd down. The open man is Smith. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that. But when the
pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Cruz. Off play action. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cruz off the play fake and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 7, Darnold. Complete. Smith has it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D, tighten up.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And they will will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Room here to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. 56 to Mike.
Cruz now throwing on first down. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football right on the mark.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Hauschka adds the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's a first down throw that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 34-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, high 7.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
I got you.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. His throw caught at about the 5. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
55. Move. 55. Here we go, G. Get off the field. Mike 55. Mike 55. Let's go one more.
To throw is Darnold. This will be caught at about the 5. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Corey Davis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. McManus's point after is good, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
Let's go. At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Cruz. That's caught. It's Thomas. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Operating from the gun, Cruz. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check.
2nd and long. And this is going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Darnold trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Cruz to throw. Off play action. He's going to sling this deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time remaining for likely one final play. You're on your side of the field, but, heck, maybe you throw one up 50-plus yards, see what happens.
Don't forget that taking the knee is the right play to make.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Paul. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Bradley Chubb make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Cruz throwing on 3rd and long. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Here we go, sack. Red 80. Strong right, strong right, strong right.
Play action. It's Darnold. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Stephon Diggs, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for two here.
Watch the safety creep.
Here's Cruz. From the gun, he'll throw.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Balaj pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From just shy of midfield, Darnold, he's got Smith here. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 43 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10.
Check Mike 99. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Red 80.
They run it with Balaj. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, pick your game up. Check Mike 99, Mike 99. Let's go, D. Check Mike 99, Mike 99.
Back to throw, Darnold. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. From 10 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point from McManus is good. And this is back to a 5-point game. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Cruz, operating from the gun. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Let's go. Mike 56, Mike 56.
Back to throw. Cruz. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Cruz now, throwing again. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Have a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here's Darnold. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You got nothing left. You got nothing.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready, ready. 17. Come on, boy. You better be ready. What happened?
Looking to throw on second down. Cruz gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A gain there of 30 big ones. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They'll run on first down. It's Paul, and the big boys up front. They're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Brings up second and 10. At the Steelers' 32-yard line.
Now Cruz to throw. Off the play fake. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Let's get there. Check 99. Check 99. 56 to Mike. 52, fellas. Let's go. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Come on, fellas.
And that'll set them back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Get in the weight room. 56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56. You ain't going nowhere. Like 56.
Ready.
Cruz from the gun. He'll throw. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Box shot.
Mike 54. Bandit. Bandit.
Hey, watch that. Watch that. Check Mike 54. Echo 54. Here we go. Red.
2nd and 15. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one good for 26 and a first down. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Hauschka with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. Well, you don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Second down and 10, Darnold. It's caught, Smith. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Darnold completes it, and they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on first and 10. Again, Darnold. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Here's Cruz. Off play action. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On the return, it's White. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Anthony Averett picks it, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They go play action here on first down. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a play fake here on first down. Now a desperation. And now here is another interception. Anthony Averett picks it. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
I got you. I got you.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Here we go. Here we go. 60 out clock. Let them know. Let them know. Go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Indianapolis, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I do. Packing nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge.